Muslim marriages are falling apart not because of zina or abuse or even bad character, but because mismanaged money, misunderstood roles, and mismatched expectations.
Women, they like money, and there's nothing wrong with that. In their fitrah, money is a proxy to stability. And a man who can give her gold bangles, for them, that's like, I can be safe with it. I can relax, and inshallah, I can be feminine. So for the man, he needs to understand that. It doesn't mean you're going to open up your bank statements in front of her. Personally, I always advise men to not tell their wives how much they're making. Finances can be up and down, bro. And that's just the way life is, man. Life will go up and down. Love can disappear, man. So this whole like, oh, you love me, I love you, or so. Please. This is why most marriages fail, because they don't understand the transactional business setup of the marriage. We don't want money from them. We don't care if she has a PhD or something. We don't.
Rizq is not just money. It's about the blessings that come into your life. A general household where there's peace and tranquility. That's rizq.
The woman should look at him like, wow, this man, I'm studying Quran, but he's better than me. I take care of myself, I'm pretty, but this guy, bro, he's really good looking. And women they want him. Oh, no, this is my man.
30, maybe 40% of our clients are women. They're making six figures. One of the primary things that most of these women tell me is that I just want to stop working as soon as possible. Be at home, take care of the kids. They are more motivated to invest than their husbands. What is your husband doing? Why is he not more motivated?
He's weak. He's scared. Because to invest, you have to be brave. They say that investments is not for the weak-hearted. And men are not brave today, bro.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the official podcast for the Halal Capital Club, and in our podcast and the discussions that we have, we want to focus on solving the problems of our specific niche, which are high-producing Muslim professionals making six figures and above. So you guys are going to be having different problems to, Muslims from a different demographic, and we want to give you the financial education to solve those problems and hopefully get you to a position where you're developing better financial habits and developing generational wealth. That is the goal, inshallah. Move away from materialism and consumerism to more develop buying assets and building long-term financial success, inshallah. So what if I told you that most Muslim marriages, or potentially today, are falling apart not because of zina or abuse or even bad character, but because the collapse is happening over mismanaged money, misunderstood roles, and mismatched expectations. And today's guest, Allahumma barik, has seen it all from inside the trenches. He's coached couples in crisis across 40 countries, Allahumma barik, logged over 100,000 hours of one-to-one deep relationship work. Gabriel, we actually have a number of random connections. We've both been on Aki Adventures.
MashaAllah.
I learned, Eamon taught me how to ride 3 years ago, I think.
Bismillah.
Amazing, Allahumma barik, amazing experience. I'm sure you've been riding for a lot longer, right?
Time, yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Allahumma barik. But I'm sure you can tell Eamon is an amazing brother. Some amazing experiences, mashallah. Did you go on the Turkey trips as well?
I've done Turkey.
Yeah, I've not done Turkey.
Inshallah.
How was that?
It's level 2.
Yeah.
It's a level up, more dangerous.
Cold, very cold.
Very cold, yeah.
Oof.
It's very nice. We do a cold dip in the lake.
Yeah.
And nice, very good. And then we culminated with a nice hot bath at the end of the trip.
Yeah. Allahumma barik, Allahumma barik. Amazing. I need to go on the Turkey trips, inshallah. Okay, so I think the best place to start would be, let's take it in stages. So let's, from the position of a Muslim man who's just getting started on his journey, maybe he's looking for marriage, and the financial position that he should be in before he is ready for marriage. Now, obviously, our audience are Muslim professionals earning six figures and above. Say there is a Muslim professional who is at the very least on track to making six figures a month, or they're already making six figures a month. What financial considerations that do they need to make before they start looking for marriage? Because it's going to be different from someone who's starting from scratch, from zero, and they're looking for marriage, or they're already married. What kind of considerations do they need to look at?
طيب جزاك الله خير بارك الله فيك بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Appreciate the introduction. I wouldn't consider myself a scholar of Islam, but I'm a student of Islam and a student of psychology, definitely. So inshallah, I'll try to give you my insight and back it up with some evidence, inshallah. With regards to your question, if we're talking specifically to people who are doing six figures and above. Monthly, you're saying, right?
So we're talking about annual salary of
Annual salary.
$100,000 a year.
$100,000 plus. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Makes sense. So obviously, first and foremost, men need to keep in mind that how women psychology works. Women, I know people would not like the statement, but they like money. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at
Okay,
all.
you have the extreme today of Red Pill who's calling women gold diggers. It's not that they're gold diggers, but they do like gold. That's why they wear gold bangles and bracelets. And I think every woman appreciates gold. It's not because they just love it. It's because in their fitrah, for them, money is a proxy to stability. And a man who can give her gold bangles, money, for her, in her mind, subconsciously, she evaluates. There's a subconscious evaluation process that usually transmutates into an emotion. A lot of these things happen, okay, in the background. So in her mind, she's not sitting there and be like, 1 + 1, 3, 4, 5. It's more like everything's happening in her subconscious. And then it transmutates into an emotion. That emotion is like, oh, wow, yes, no, ooh, ugh, right? There's the ick, there's this, there's that. So she's making all these evaluations saying, okay, this guy, I can be safe with him. If anything happens, he's going to take care of things. It's not about she's counting al-hakum takathuru, you know? Some are, but in general, okay? She's literally thinking, he's going to take care of me. I can be safe with him. Women are afraid. You have to understand. As much as society tries to say that women are strong, they keep pushing this image. As we've seen even recently, I don't know if you saw that that event that took place in America. Those two ladies, cops, were trying to take down that one guy. And he was
I don't think I saw it.
He was just twisting him up and down. One guy had to intervene. This one guy had to pick that guy up and just slam it down. And then finally, two of them had to arrest. Bottom line is, women are not strong. And they don't have to be strong in that department that the society is pushing to be. They have to be strong in their femininity, in their fitrah, in being mothers, nurturers, soft, feminine, women, in their deen. Okay, that's where the departments that they have to be strong in. So because they're not strong physically, a woman cannot, even though some of these women are trying to today and they're losing their fitrah in doing so, they want protection and safety. And for them, when they see a man who can provide, for them, it's like, I can be safe with him. I can put my guard down. I can relax. And inshallah, I can be feminine. I can be myself. You understand?
Yes.
So for the man, he needs to understand that, first and foremost, because a woman might look at, let's say they're vetting, they're about to get married, they're talking, they're in the discussion. And she might inquire about his financial situation. And he'll be like, oh, she wants money, bro. What is this? A lot of brothers are going to jump on that foot. They're like, oh my God, I dismiss her. Bro, you got to understand that's not necessarily. 100%. Maybe, I'm not saying that you put your guard down. Maybe she wants money, but she's looking for stability. She's trying to assess if you can take care of her. Simple as that. Now, if her family and everyone's asking for your balances and this and that, now you got to be a little bit, hey, when are you going to bring her to United Kingdom? When are you going to do this? All right, how much? What card? Then it's like red flag,
Yeah.
But if she's just inquiring and trying to understand who you are as a man, what can you provide? She's basically assessing your main title as a man, which is Qawwam. Okay? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, what does he say when he says, Ar-rijalu qawwamun 'ala nisa? From what they spend, Allah says, and from what they spend, right? Because of what they spend, this is what they have the title of Qawwam. Right? They're actually spending on them, protecting them, taking care of them. So man needs to understand that. He needs to understand that fitrah of the woman, so he doesn't make a mistake of pulling away from a good woman, maybe. And then, this is, I would say, the main thing. He needs to go in with an understanding that women want stability. Number two, it doesn't mean you're going to open up your checkbooks and your bank statements in front of her. Personally, I always advise men to not tell their wives how much they're making. They should never know exactly by a number how much money they make. Yesterday, I had a sister for a counseling session, and she was saying, he's not transparent. She says, I'm transparent. He knows everything. Whatever I make, whatever money I have. And I said, that's good. She said, but why? I said, because if he's doing not so good, you're going to be very, very, very upset or sad or worried. right? So why should he tell you? Oh, I didn't think about it that way. Because you're only thinking about when it's high. What about when it's low? Right? There was recently a study in America. I'm not saying that necessarily extends to our Muslim sisters, but we do find now more and more that a lot of the studies that are applying to the non-Muslims are also extending to the Muslims.
Yeah.
Why? Because we are living in a global village. The culture, if you notice, why you can be Somali, Bengali, Romanian, whatever it is, slowly the culture is covering everyone. There's a specific
also because of social media.
Social media, global economic culture, materialism, whatever, capitalism. Okay. So this is where, men have to be very attentive. You don't have to tell your wife how much you're making. She just needs to make sure that you can take care of things. And she needs to be calm, because if you're going to be low, she's going to panic. And the study was saying that a majority of these women are willing to leave the marriage if the man is financially going down or unstable. But as you know, finances can be up and down, bro. Sometimes it depends. The market is what we call bullish or bearish.
Absolutely,
okay?
Yeah.
And that's just the way life is, man. Like, life will go up and down. People need to understand. The thing is, that's one of the shortcomings of female psychology. While they are very volatile themselves, okay, they always want some sort of financial consistency, right? They will not accept volatility from anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is very important for the guys to understand these 2 points. Okay. Number one, again, understand female nature. Number two, don't open up your bank books and everything so she can know here or here. Let her know that you are, Qawi and you are Amin. Right? These are the two attributes that a man has to have. He is powerful, he can do it, but he's also trustworthy. I'll take care. You can trust me, right? Just chill, be a woman. I'll take care of the rest. The issue of beauty versus money. This is millenniums. It's from the beginning of time. Okay, men have always exchanged their resources for the woman's beauty.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, or even more for intimacy. Okay, women bring not the only thing, but the main thing, the most important thing. And the brothers can attest to this. I'm sure the brother's not thinking about tahajjud but before he's getting married. He's thinking about something else, the night of the marriage, okay? And there's a specific sunnah for that, okay? And I know a lot of people try to say that, look, you should pray with your wife and this and this and this. Actually, there's no full evidence, unless I'm missing something out, where the Prophet prayed tahajjud with his wives on the night of their consummation. The night of consummation is for consummation. Actually, there's evidence that you're even excused from sometimes Jama' Fajr. The ulama have said that. You still pray, obviously. But for example, the virgin, right, takes 7 days and the non-virgin takes 3 days, right? You kind of spend time with her, right, to make that bond. But for centuries, millenniums, men have exchanged their resources, and resources not only money. There's many other things that qualify as assets and resources. People usually think it's only about money. No. For example, your good looks are resources. Your ability to protect a woman is resource. Your skills in talking and doing certain things, it's a resource. Money is not the only resource. So women look at many things. Because you can have money and you're like a rubbish man. You know what I mean? And she'll be like, actually, a lot of women, they're not going to stand around just with a guy because he has money. This is one of the mistakes of the brothers. They think that resources means money. Resources is how much Quran you know, how much of an imam you are in the deen, and your mission and vision and things that you can do for the woman in terms of you as a man. Those are resources, right? So men always exchange the resources, and women in turn would have to give themselves. That's where the value is for a woman mainly. I'm not saying only, because a lot of women are like, oh, are we just for intimacy? No. But look at the evidence. The first things that become halal, yakhi, when you pay your mahad, when you make the nikah, is what? Is intimacy. That's the first thing, yakhi. The ulama have even made a statement of like, it's quite extreme, I will not say it, but it's literally the transaction. Okay? And that's why marriage is aqd, which is a contract. It's literally a business contract. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, what are you talking about? It's because love can disappear, man. People, they've been indoctrinated with this love understanding. Oh, we have to be in love, and it's about love. Yes, love will come. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. It will come. But at the core of the Sharia and the core of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it is a contract. I will provide for you, pay, take care of stuff, and you in turn will give me children, intimacy. Hunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahun. They are a cover for you, and you are a cover for them. You do stuff for me. Because see, brother, if we transact, if you give me $1,000 right now, and I give you back $1,000, what tag did we do? We transacted, but it's the same thing. It makes no difference. For the transaction to make sense, it needs to be different. What I give you and what you give me, it has to be different. Okay? So this whole like, oh, you love me, I love you, we're so... Bro, please. This is why most marriages fail. Because they don't understand the asas or the foundations of marriage. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's no love. It will come. Actually, it's better.
Yeah,
100%. Come and it's built
100%.
As opposed to just some Titanic version of, love. I want to fall in love. And then you feel depressed because you don't feel the Titanic vibe, right? No, you will build that, inshallah. But if you know the transactional business setup of the marriage, this is good. This is good.
Beautiful. And it's when there's a beautiful equilibrium between what the man is receiving and what the woman is receiving. Because they're not going to be the same things, right?
We don't want money from them.
No, at all.
We don't care if she has a PhD or something. We don't, bro. You can go, and if you see a good sister who's, I don't know, she's just basic, right? You're not gonna really care so much about all her qualifications, right? And I always said to the brothers, bro, like, you might fall in love with the girl who serves chai, bro, in a chai place. You know what I mean? You might feel like, oh my God, she's so white. Because men are very visual. She's so beautiful. Look at her. Allah, my barik, this and that. Don't marry her. She was in the chai place, but I'm just saying as an example. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Another beautiful thing, I was just in Medina, and I was with some brothers, and we were driving around Medina, giving me a bit of a tour. And something beautiful that he said is that rizq, and obviously we know these things, but the way he said it was just amazing. Rizq is not just money. Rizq is the barakah that comes into your life from, like, one person can be making $200,000 a year, another person will be making $50,000 a year, but for the one can be happier than the other. His $50,000 is going further than the one who makes $200,000. Because a lot of the time, subhanAllah, especially when a lot of us will have experience of this when we're involved in haram, even if it's like mortgages, we'll find that a lot of my clients as dentists tell me this, right? They're making more money, they're making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. But they feel like it's just going. Where is it going? And their life isn't changing or improving in any way. Because they're making more, now they have more taxes to pay. This is the definition of barakah. It's not just about money. It's about how far your money can go and the blessings that come into your life. Having a household where you have healthy children running around. That's rizq. Right? Having a wife who is righteous, who fulfills most of your desires. Nobody's perfect. She's not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. But a general household where there's peace and tranquility, that's rizq.
Huge.
SubhanAllah. Based on that, exactly what 100%. You said. SubhanAllah. Okay, so let's discuss about the situation of a brother who is, mashallah, successful. What things... Now, you've talked about how it is completely legitimate for a woman to consider finances before getting married. That's her fitrah. In the same way that it is a man's fitrah to look for a woman he's attracted to. There's nothing wrong with a woman looking for a man who is financially stable, and there's nothing wrong with a man who's looking for a woman who is physically 100%. Attractive, right? Where does a man find balance between expectations with a woman and what is the line between a woman who is looking for a financially stable man and then a woman who is looking at the materialism or the consumerism too much, closer towards the gold digger concept? Well, how does a man who's making good money decipher between those two women?
Right. So his vetting process has to be, watertight. It's got to be very, very, very on point. Now, a lot of brothers, they think, okay, we'll have a interview style discussion. Actually, in some cultures, the brothers don't even do that. They just allow the parents to go visit each other a couple of times and discuss a little bit and mostly speak about the wedding, and that's it, finish. So the guy doesn't know what he's marrying, and she doesn't know who she's marrying.
Not good at all.
And then a year, 2 years after marriage, Assalamu alaikum, brother Gabriel. We have a problem, right? And I'm like, whoa. Okay. And some of the stuff that I deal with, akhi, is really extreme. But the vetting has to be huge. And that's why I've been focusing in my work a lot on building courses. I built a marriage vetting master course.
Allahumma barik.
Because I want the brothers to understand, even if you're just going to sit with a girl and talk to her. Oh, so what do you want from life? So, how do you? No, you need to test. You need to vet. If you're going to hire it's not just a worker for you. If you have your company, let's say a partner, a business partner, if you're going to bring in an associate, it would be the worst mistake to just interview them. You need to spend some time with them, see their lifestyle, dig in, understand what's their choices. My brother, for example, should look if his wife or future wife has social media. What kind of comments she's left in these posts? Who's she following? Who are her friends? I tell the brothers, bro, but is it haram? Is it halal? This whole thing of halal, haram, okay, it's sometimes taken out of context. Right? Because right away people will say, brother, but it's haram. And I say, okay, what's the evidence for that? Because by default, it shouldn't be halal. Okay, mu'amalat, in dealing with people, the rule is by default, everything's halal till proven otherwise. In ibadat, is the opposite. Everything is haram till proven halal. Okay, so I said to the brothers, you need to check her friends. Ask her, who's her friends? See, set up a certain environment. I don't know right now how you would do it depending on your situation. But for example, maybe your sisters or the women in your house might meet with your future wife and her friends for a coffee or for a dinner. See, who are these girls? Because, around men, the women are going to be like, yes, brother, salam alaikum. Alhamdulillah, brother. But, amongst women, they start
lowering
even in the masjid, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you some crazy stories. Women go there for Islamic halakha, for Quran, they come out with some crazy stuff, right? So get your female cousin, someone from your family. You can get someone. Trust me, I know everyone's got someone, an auntie, someone. And see who are our friends. How do they behave? Who are these? Do some investigation. Your vetting process should be like you're hiring an associate for your business. So you can understand who is this woman. Because by nature, akhi, women, I know people are but I'm going to use this term because it's a very important, they're deceptive. Women like it or not, women by nature, they're deceptive. Okay, and deception doesn't necessarily have to always be something like, oh my God, an insult. Okay, what do I mean by deceptive? Let's look at the basics. Deception means what you see is not what you get. Okay, it does not necessarily. It becomes something extremely evil and negative if someone maliciously manipulates that. It becomes an art. I have cognition now, and I have intention, and I'm going to use certain strategies to make sure I get what I want. And I'm planning it and calculate it. And it's malicious. I want to get something out of it. You understand? Most women don't necessarily do that, but it's in their fitrah to be deceptive. Meaning, for example, most women wear makeup. It's a deception. Women wearing makeup is a deception because that's not how they actually look like. The way you look right now, akhi, is the way you woke up, you made wudu, and that's it, right? You put on a thobe, you go for a business meeting, you're gonna look the same. If you go today for a wedding, bro, you might just change your clothes and you look the same. If you go for sports or for a trip, you're gonna look the same. Bro, the women are gonna look you're gonna find three different persons in that. That's deception. Because they are not comfortable. It's a long story as to why they do it now. But a lot of women have to understand, why should we not look good? I thought it's ibadah. And tajmeel and beautify yourself for your husband can become ibadah.
Of course, yeah.
Okay? Beautify yourself for everyone else. And especially when your future husband, didn't even see how you really look like, is deception. And I cannot tell you, brother, how many times, bro, people think we're joking. How many times the first day after marriage, bro, the guys call me up, bro, I want to divorce my wife. I'm like, brother, why? And one guy, he made a video, he tried to refute me. He said, because I put a funny story out with like, this girl goes down a slide. It was a guy who dressed as a girl, but everything falls off, you know what I mean? And then the guy's like, look at this stupid guy. He was insulting me. I say, brother, he's from Desi culture.
Okay.
I said, brother, in your culture sometimes, because he doesn't know his culture, he's ignorant. He spent too much time in the UK now. He's become English. So in your culture, in some cases, still today, you're not even going to see your wife. In many traditional weddings, you'll be sit on a chair, she's sitting next to you, and you give him a mirror. because it's like even like inappropriate to look at her directly in your marriage. Am I wrong or am I right?
I'm sure I've heard some crazy stuff.
Bro, so some of the guys call me and they're like, brother, I'm gonna divorce her. Why? Bro, her eyes are not that color. The skin is not that color. Nothing. I said, brother, but you didn't, but my parents didn't allow me, he says. I wanted to, but they didn't allow me. They just say, you have to marry her. She's beautiful. But my parents, I didn't talk to her. But brother, it's your fault. I'm not blaming the women. The women, they do they do best. She wants to secure the best thing she can do.
Of course.
Not just that, society rewards them for doing that, continues to encourage them. Look at the industry, a beauty industry and fashion. Who is it targeting, akhi? Just going to the mall, see how many clothes stores or places for men do we have. We got a little corner there in some department store, you know, but it's all women, bro. It's women. So there's a culture as well that rewards that kind of behavior. So the man needs to do his job. It's like business. If you're going to think of marriage only, oh my God, I'm going to get this beautiful girl and I can't wait for the night of the marriage and we're going to live our whole life and we're going to travel and pray and have intimacy and make children. And I'm like, bro, you're wrong, because again, you are also going based on what you've been conditioned to believe that marriage is. And you're going to make a mistake, because women, what she sees is what she gets. She looks at you, says, mashallah, this guy's handsome, alhamdulillah. It's very measurable, bro. Why? Because she scans you.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, Allahumma barik.
And the man looks the same when he wakes up, when he goes to bed, after wudu, after
the just go finish, right? Done, right? Yeah, we get a fade here and there once in a while, but we're pretty,
consistent. Yeah.
She can take her fake teeth off, eyelashes, this, that, everything, and it's a different person, right? So he doesn't know who he's dealing with. He needs to make sure that he looks at it as you're choosing now a partner for life. Someone that's going to be very, very difficult to remove. It's not that simple. If you don't like her. And again, men, they like pretty girls, attractive women. And they get something called buyer's remorse. Once they start establishing and seeing who she really is and the mask comes off, a lot of men are like, bro, what the heck did I do? I could have gotten someone better. And now I'm stuck. Not just that he cannot divorce her, their family, his family, all that, the expectations, the wedding, everyone, what they're going to say. There's so many layers of protection there for the woman, not to understand the muakhar and the mahar, 50,000 or something. If you divorce me, you have to pay me 50,000, right? They get this insurance policy. So the guy's stuck, man. And one mistake he did, and one mistake only. It's like going, bro, and buying a car, and you're going to drive from here to Medina, 2,000 something kilometers, and you didn't check the oil, you didn't check if there's loose screws under. You just think, oh yeah, it looks good on the outside, right? And the car's falling apart, man. Or it starts like, makes weird noises. The guy says, don't worry, bro, it's normal. You're like, okay, it looks nice. Look at it, it's beautiful. You open the inside, leather, right? You drive it 200 kilometers, bro, on the highway, the engine falls off, bro. Okay, there's no oil, there's no transmission fluid, the bolts are not, everything. The guy, he tricked you. He pulled the kilometers back, It's a bunch of trickery. And this is what happens. So men need to vet properly. Do not allow yourself, once you've vetted everything, you'll know. Is she really a gold digger? She wants to twist you. She wants your passport. She wants to live in the West. She wants this. She wants that. What does she want? Or does she want you? She wants a family with you. She wants deen with you. She wants hijrah with you. She wants to be your follower. She wants to be your co-pilot, whatever you want to call it. This is what you can say. And you can do it. All you need to do is not to rush. But we love to rush as men because we look and we're like, let's go. All right. Most men, they just want to go. And I'm like, bro, hold yourself. Okay, hold yourself a little bit. And remember what the Prophet said, right? Marry a woman for 4. Assess her deen first. And deen is not only, is she wearing niqab? Because that again can be just another front. How many niqabis, bro, are, my God. And same with guys with beard, man. Same thing.
Yeah.
Some of the guys with beard can be
100%.
like, you look at him, mashallah, a sheikh. Spend like one day with him, you're like, what the heck is wrong with this guy, man? You know what I mean? But you need time, and most people rush.
So let's cover the other side, because I am increasingly seeing a client base of young Muslim women who are also actually, we've got several, maybe 20 or 30% of our clients are young Muslim women in their late 20s, early 30s who are making six figures, right, a year. So they're
Are
making.
they married?
So this is the thing. So what I see is that if they get married early at the beginning of their career, they're generally quite happy, quite content. Now, what about the women who are not married, who are making six figures? What trials are they going to face? What issues are they going to face when they're looking for marriage?
They will have a very, very small sample of men that they can choose from. So if a woman makes six figures, brother, she got to marry a guy who makes seven figures. And that's the hypergamy that I talked about before.
Or at least like 1.5, 2 times what she makes.
At least, okay. And even so, she needs to look at him, not only about his money, but the man has to have other resources. For example, he has to be very attractive. Okay, and that's a big resource for women. That's the one resource that will override any other calculations, rational calculations.
Yes.
Why? Because women in general are not so, and I know a lot of men will be like, what are you talking about? But hear me out. Women are not so attracted to men as men are attracted to them.
I agree 100%.
This can be proven from a plethora of different evidence. But women in general, they don't look at men, they're like, oh my God, he's so hot. Okay? While men in general have a very hard time to walk a kilometer on high street without, like having to deal with a lot of problems. Women can walk for kilometers and no one even notice men. Okay? A special type of men, very few, that can maybe cause them to have to lower their gaze. All right? So that small amount of men that women are really going to want is going to be a guy who is very attractive. It's not only because we have to be careful. And I'm going to say it again, resources, not only money.
Yes.
Cannot make that mistake. Because then again, the guy's going to go there and be like, brother, but you told me that if I'm hypergamous, if I have making more money than her, she's going to like me. And she hates me. But the guy's got seven figures. He's miskin, bro. You know what I mean? The guy's a miskin guy. He doesn't take care of himself. He's just, so your thing doesn't work, brother. Why did I pay all this money? I watch your podcast and this. Look what you did to me. And I'm like, bro, because you thought it's only about money. You need to have the money, 100%. Okay. But also you need to have other resources. Your deen, for example, you should know more Islam than your wife. 100%. And if the woman is religious, inshallah, and she follows the deen, when the man knows more Islam, he speaks Arabic, he has Quran under him, right? Like in terms of knowing, she's going to start looking up to him. The man has to always be on a higher ground.
In certain aspects of his attributes.
In every aspect. Every aspect. The woman should look at him like, wow, okay, this man, okay, well, I like Quran. I can recite Quran. I'm studying Quran, but he's better than me. I'm making money, but he's making more. I take care of myself. I'm pretty, but this guy, bro, he's really good looking. And women they want him, okay? The women want him. And oh my God, wait a second. I need to hold him. This is my man. I'm not gonna, oh my God, I saw, these girls they want him. Oh, no. This is my man. Okay. She's looking at him as someone who is more achieved and higher than her.
Just a quick side note before we continue the video. I don't know if you know, but we have 2 amazing resources in the comments and in the description of the video. The first one is access to my free online training. Now, both of these resources are only for individuals, for Muslims who earn more than 6 figures, or you're approaching the 6-figure mark and you need to know how to plan for your money, how to arrange your money, how to structure your finances, how to invest. These are very, very important things. How to structure your taxes so that you don't overpay. All of these things are absolutely vitally important, especially if you know that you're on track to making 6 figures, or if you're already making 6 figures. It's not too late, but you need to start planning and structuring your finances right now, okay? The time is going to get more difficult, and when tax season comes, you're going to have a massive bill. Please structure your finances now. Learn how to invest everything efficiently so that you're not facing big, massive tax bills, etc. And you know how to invest your money going forward. So the first link is for our free online training. As I said, only if you are on track to making six figures or if you're already making six figures. And that is in the link below. And the second link is access to our free private community. Again, only for Muslims who are approaching six figures or more. That is there for you. Click below, get access right now. Assalamu alaikum.
Give you a perfect example about the money issue. Khadija radiallahu anha. She was more wealthy, a lot wealthier than the Prophet.
Yes.
So how come she didn't have this whole like, oh, he's not making money? Till the Prophet started to actually make money from jihad, from work, from fighting, from war, because of the spoils. He says that Khadija was his founder.
Yeah.
She used to spend all her money. Actually, when they got boycotted for 2.5 years, boycotted, she didn't only spend the money on him, on all his tribe. And that pain and suffering that she had actually caused her to die because they didn't eat. So immediately after the boycott, she fell sick.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she fell sick, and obviously she was very weak because she was spending the money on. Now, most women will never do that. Will not spend the money on the husband. Why? Because maybe the husband doesn't even deserve it. Let alone, bro, on all his tribe and the people. She could have so many pushbacks and be like, look, these guys some of them were not even Muslim. And she was spending money on them because they all got boycotted, okay? But Hashim, all of them got boycotted. The Muslims and the non-Muslims. They got pushed by Quraysh into the wadi, into the valley. Why did Khadija sacrifice all that money? Because she understood this man. Number one, he had a mission and vision. He was above everyone. This guy, the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ, this man, this amazing man, the best man who was created, the best guy who was created. He had a mission and vision that challenged everything in society. Everyone's talking about him. Everyone wants a piece of him. Everyone wants to get at him or be with him or against him. He was the center of all attention, bro. And for women, that's something that's valuable. She saw in him the potential of a reform, of a revolution in the world, not only in her city. Do you understand? So for her, spending money was an investment. She didn't look at it like, oh my God, I have to pay for bills and I have to pay money. Bro, she would give the Prophet ﷺ whatever he needed without asking him, like, last week I had to, pay a little bit, the reminder after 10 years. Remember when I had to pay for that trip or for the train, you didn't have the cash, so I had to pay for tickets, and all that. Bro, why? Because she looked at the Prophet like, this is Allah's messenger. This is a man who's going to reform everything. I'm willing to die for that. I'll give him my last. And not to mention how attractive the Prophet was, man. How beautiful the Prophet was. The Sahaba described that we look at the moon, we look at the Prophet, we don't know which one's more beautiful. The Prophet was very attractive. He took care of himself. So if you look at Shama al-Tirmidhi, Imam al-Tirmidhi, rahimahullah, he narrates the sifat of the Prophet. The Prophet was beautiful. I'm very comfortable man in my sexuality to say a man is beautiful.
100%, of course. You can say that about
the Sahabas were saying that, right? Yusuf alayhi salam was beautiful. And Aisha radiallahu anha says, you think Yusuf had the beauty? You should have seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
If the women that cut their hands when they saw Yusuf had seen my Rasulullah, they would have cut their own hearts out.
SubhanAllah. So this is the man that they would look up to. Compare that to your average guy today, bro, who's playing PlayStation. Overweight. He's not taking care of himself. And he's got no money, no nothing.
Doesn't know how to dress.
He doesn't know how to enter. Like, I want a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Doesn't compute.
You know what I mean?
So the message is that in general, it's not a nice reality, but the reality is if a woman is making six figures, Allahumma barik, you're making six figures, but the reality is that it's going to be more difficult for her to find.
It'll be very difficult.
Okay, and can you explain to them why that is? Why psychologically are they going to find it more difficult to find a husband?
Because, see, women if they're on par with the man or the man is below them, it's very hard for them to respect them. It's very hard for them to feel like this man is doing things for them. Okay, the only exception is, again, if he is really attractive. Okay, if he's really, really attractive, a woman is willing to forfeit everything, bro. She doesn't even want to mahar. She's like, just give me Quran. I just want to be with you. Because his time now and her presence with him is a resource and value. She's like, look, I can pay money, but I'll never be able to get what is him. So I don't care about money anymore. I don't even care if he doesn't have money. I just want to be with him. That was Khadija's mentality. So it's going to be very difficult for women because they won't respect in general a man who is not attractive, maybe, or mediocre. Okay, and women can marry mediocrely looking men, no problem, because they don't prioritize looks as much as we do. But she's gonna, because his qawama is linked to his provision, it'll be very, very difficult for her to see him as an achiever if he's struggling to pay the bills or if he's struggling to do certain things that impress her. If you take, for example, a woman who's had these experiences, right? Okay, you buy her, and she's making 6 figures. And you're making 6 figures as well. You buy her, I don't know, a Land Cruiser. She's like, I can buy myself a Land Cruiser. Well, my dad already bought me a Land Cruiser. You take her to Maldives. She'll be like, I've already been here twice. So what's new that you can bring into her life and really be like, wow, because women love for you to do new things for them, to get them to experience certain things that they've not done it before. So if she herself can do all these things, and this is why society has really messed up women, because it's convinced them to push to do certain things that men have done or even better. And while it's okay for a woman to have businesses, this is a big misconception. And they use again the evidence of Khadija radiallahu anha, that she was a businesswoman. But she did not compromise her femininity.
No, not at all.
Today, for a woman to reach 6 figures, she's going to have to compromise, bro. She's going to be out.
Her deen as well. She never compromised her deen. She wasn't speaking face-to-face with men.
But today, for a woman to reach...
You have to be compromising your deen, your femininity.
You have to.
You have to be a boss woman.
You have to. So in that sense, you're changing your fitrah. Okay? And when you change your fitrah, it's very difficult to start now seeing men as... value, right? And society has pushed that on women. And I know it sounds bad, but personally, I don't think that women should pursue these 6-figure jobs and 6 figures investments and all that.
So now, obviously, the reality is that a lot of our clients and a lot of women are actually making 6 figures, right? Now, the thing that you mentioned at the beginning is that nurture can overcome nature. So if a woman is making 6 figures, her natural disposition is to want a man who is better than her. Now, my philosophy is that there are 4 aspects that main attributes that women see in a man. First is money. Second is physical attractiveness, fitness, etc. Third is deen. And the 4th is frame. Now, frame encompasses a lot of things: character, personality, confidence, all these things, right? And based on what you said, I think, would you agree that even if the man is not doing better than a woman financially, as long as he is better than her in one of these other 3 aspects that she respects, then that is enough?
I don't know if it's enough, but it can help. So, for example, for men and women, the first thing that we should look at, according to the Prophet ﷺ, is deen. But the reality is most people don't look at it. Most people, men are going to look at beauty. Women are going to look at money.
Yeah. But if women can understand the concept that, listen, if you're in a position where your career is on track to making 6 figures, you're going to make it more difficult for yourself, but you can train yourself, or you can teach yourself to go for certain things that will make it easier for you. Fair enough. It's going to be a lot more difficult for you to find a man who's making more money than you, because your pool of prospective husbands is a lot smaller. But if you look, as you said, you should look for a man who is strong in his deen, right? So if you can train yourself to be happy and comfortable with a man who's a very strong, pious man, who's potentially maybe not the best looking, but he's good looking enough, is in good shape, is that something that you think that is possible?
The key words there are train yourself. If you can train yourself. women are more reactional and emotional. They're going to be more truthful to how they feel. I agree, theoretically, if they can train themselves. First of all, which women trains them? You mentioned one of the courses, mashallah. Very few courses out there are things for women to train them to accept a man or to understand man or to look up to a man or to know how to evaluate a man. Very few courses out there. So most women are going to just go autopilot, just see what happens. They're going to go based on their emotions, how they feel, and so on and so forth. But if they can train themselves and the man is above, then there's a possibility that marriage can last and can be a good marriage. However, again, in the process of women making money, what we just said, them leaving their femininity, the fitra will change. A woman is going to experience high cortisol levels.
Yes,
for example,
absolutely.
due to stress.
Yes.
Which means low libido. Which means aggressiveness. Which means detachment. These are not feminine features. These are masculine features. Guys sometimes just need time off.
And I think a really important point to make is that it's not just about what men find attractive and being feminine for the sake of your husband. It's being feminine and chasing things that are aligned with your fitrah so that you can be happy as a 100%. Woman.
Look, as much as women want to be a man today and as much as they want to make money and get all this spotlight that men do, they're not happy, bro. Yeah, money can buy you things. In reality, if you talk to a lot of these women, they are extremely unhappy. A lot of these CEOs, divorced, 2-3 divorces, unhappy. They're not really feeling it. Why? Because you are not aligned with what you are created to do. Why are men happy when they make money and achievements and all that? Because they're being created to achieve and to get going, to do stuff. That's how we build our value. For a man, it's all about conquest and doing things. And you achieve your higher objective when you achieve these things. Men get rewarded that way. Society looks at them. But for a woman, she's leaving her fitrah, leaving what Allah has created her for. And now her behavior is going to affect her cognition. She keeps training herself and being stronger, waking up in the morning, taking the train, making sure she makes the meeting.
Yes.
You know, she's
a
on
daily
her period.
Routine that doesn't align with her.
Align with the fitrah,
right?
She's on her period.
Yeah.
Right? Women could not do that till they invented certain sanitary pads. It's difficult for them. Not just that. Birth control was a huge game changer. Okay, for women. Funny enough, you still have the highest amount of single mothers in the world that's ever experienced. You know what I mean? Even though birth control is supposed to solve that, it backfired. So women, literally what I'm trying to say, I know a lot of women I wish they would listen a little bit till the end of the podcast because they get very triggered. They just turn it off when they hear this guy talking about. Because truth is very uncomfortable. Women are going to have to change themselves. And when we're speaking from a neuropsychology perspective, their brain is being rewired by their actions. I'll give you an example. If a woman is punching a punching bag for 7 days a week, she's training 2 hours boxing, 7 days a week, in 2 years, her whole body will change. Not just that, her muscle tone, her demeanor, her posture, her hormones are going to change. Okay? Her sexuality can change. Her mind will change. Okay, all that in 1 or 2 years of her doing something that she's not created for every single day. Her testosterone levels are going to increase. Women are dealing with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. They can't have children. Their fertility is why? Because high testosterone, problems with estrogen, their low body fat. Okay, they're being all shredded. You know, it's all this women being shredded, having 6 packs and all. It's against. This kills their fertility.
Yeah.
Women have to have a little bit of fat. Okay. But the culture is convincing them that no. So basically, fundamentally what's happening, they're changing, they're transforming into men. They'll never be happy Because in the end of the day, no matter how much muscle you have, how much money you're making, how much you're traveling, how much boxing you're doing, how much yoga, whatever the heck you're doing, jiu-jitsu and all that, okay, and flying first class and having businesses and firing people, in the end of the day, bro, you're still a woman.
Mm.
You're still a woman. There was recently a study, 2025, the University of Michigan. They took a sample population of women, about 100 women, and just made them act. Just the act of saying to a man, you're fired. You didn't do your job properly. And they tested their hormones. Their testosterone spiked so high. Just pretending that they're firing a man. Imagine that. Their testosterone spiked so high, just pretending. Imagine if they're actually in the position for years, having the position of a CEO, firing men, telling men what to do, telling them, just feeling like a boss, which they're not created to be. Imagine what changes happen in their bodies. It is what it is. Look, you cannot be a man and a woman at the same time. Impossible.
Do you know what's crazy? We've been running our agency for about 4 years now. Many clients over that time. And I would say about 30, maybe 40% of our clients are women. Again, literally, they're making 6 figures, right? And on the consultation we have before they join us, we discuss goals and motivations and reasons why, what's pushing them to do, to learn how to improve their financial situation. And it's not just about income. It's about what we do is about managing finances, financial structuring and investing, like long-term wealth growth, right? And one of the primary things that most of these women tell me is that I just want to stop working as soon as possible. And these are women who have spent 5 years studying at university, spent I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars to get their degree as a doctor, dentist, or other professional. And now they're saying to me, I just want to stop working as soon as possible. I just want to be at home, take care of the kids.
Good. That's what I'm saying. Like, a woman can have money from inheritance, from this, from that, from whatever. Right? And she gives the money, like that's what Khadija used to do. Her money was not self-made. She inherited twice from very wealthy men of Mecca. People need to, when they use the story of Khadija, they really need to understand what happened. So, alhamdulillah, if you have money as a woman, let these establishments, like your business, to do the work for them and let them be in their feminine mode. Yes. Let them do that.
Do you know what's really embarrassing? Sometimes I have these women on call and they're married, happily married generally, but in many ways they are more motivated to invest than their husbands. And it blows my mind. Like, it's the husband should be taking the primary motivation to structure your finances optimally, sort out your taxes, invest for the long term. And it's like, these amazing women, mashallah, Allahumma barik, that they are taking the step to learn how to invest and structure the finances. Like, what is your husband doing? Why is he not more motivated?
He's weak. He's scared. Because to invest, you have to be brave. You know, they say that investments is not for the weak-hearted. Okay, for those who understand business, you're going to have to take risks. And risk means brave. And men are not brave today, bro. Men are scared. And it's a big problem. Because you need to, definitely don't put your life savings on the line.
Of course, no. We go into a lot of detail on...
One of the first rules of investment that I say is just put money that you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, to lose it, alhamdulillah, right? But you have to be brave. You have to take risks, calculated risks, but you have to risk. And it requires bravery. And indeed, a lot of these men, they are not willing to, they're not goal-getters. Their wives are more brave than them, sadly.
I think in some ways there's also a positive there that, and maybe in some ways, especially with our clients, the husband is obviously very, very busy with work, and maybe mentally they just don't have the mental space to think about financial structuring and investing. And then the wife is the one that's kind of, she's got more mental space to kind of think about these things, right? So there's a bit of positivity there where she's kind of reaching out and saying, oh, my husband needs to do this and find investments for, and they're running it by their husband, which is brilliant, right? Let's move on, right, and discuss, coming to like the marriage proposition again, with regards to a man who is earning really well, 6 figures and above, and what frame they should have when it comes to dictating, and how much control they should have when it comes to dictating the terms of the wedding in general and the marriage, right? Unfortunately, what I see a lot is too much is brothers who are making really good money and their entire family, everyone except them, is dictating the terms of the wedding, what's going to happen, how big the wedding is going to be, how expensive it's going to be, what events are going, how many 20 different events are going to take place. There are going to be cars and supercars and all that kind of stuff, or decorations. Like, where should a man come from in terms of frame in the planning and dictating the terms of the wedding? Let's start with the wedding.
That's again the mistake that a lot of men think that because I'm making money now, like that's good enough. No, frame is more than that. And you can see in this kind of situation where, okay, you're making the money, you're going to probably have to settle the bills and sign those bills in the end, but you had no control over anything to dictate where and how in this. And that's because even though you've made a lot of money, your family still don't respect you. They don't see you as someone of authority. So you don't have any resources in that department, the department of frame. You have resources in knowing how to make money. But again, that's not the only attribute that a man should have. So they should, if they make the money, they make the call. Simple as that. Okay, they should put their foot down. They should carry themselves in such a way, respectfully, that, hey guys, if you guys want this wedding to happen, this is how it's gonna go. Simple. No problem. If I have the money, alhamdulillah, and it's not israf, when I'm not wasting the money, no problem. You want to bring these people, you guys can have your thing, let the women do their thing, men will do their thing. Alhamdulillah. But to have these crazy, extravagant supercars, deception again. I mean, why are you renting all these supercars for what? For a movie? For a film? It's not your cars. What's gonna do? Nothing. So dictate the terms. As a man, you're the CEO of a company, you don't let the people who are printing, okay, at the printing department dictate how to run your company, man. With all due respect. Right? So but that's again the mindset, akhi, because men think, oh, I made money. I'm such a man now. Brother, you're still a schmuck, bro. Even though you have money. With all due respect. You can't even carry yourself. So what if you have money? You know? So money comes and goes. Who are you as a man? Who are you as your ethics and morality? That's not defined by money. Money can come and go. Sometimes the Prophet ﷺ had money, sometimes he didn't. Sometimes Aisha says in the house, Rasul ﷺ, we didn't light up the fire for like a month. Okay? But did anyone dare to disrespect the Prophet ﷺ? Did anyone dare to overcross his rulings or what he said? No. Look at that frame. Bro, there's stronger Sahaba than the Prophet ﷺ that could overcome if they want to. Of course, Allah protect him. There are people who are richer than the Prophet ﷺ, but his frame, people could not resist but follow him. And that's what people need to understand. Okay, so put your foot down politely. You don't have to be an arrogant man because now you're making money. Disrespect your parents who raised you and took care of your whole life. Right? Make it in such a way, solve the problem in such a way that they're happy and you're within the lines and the boundaries. Simple. And you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I think one of the worst things that a man can do is start off his life and his marriage with a huge, expensive, extravagant wedding. It's 100% financially one of the worst things that you can do, right? I mean, I said to my wife before we got married that, listen, in terms of the wedding, etc., I'm here to promise you a marriage. If you want a big fancy, extravagant wedding, I'm not the right person. If you want a nice, long-term, strong marriage, I'm your guy. Alhamdulillah, my bad, she accepted.
Good.
But I mean, that's essentially the angle that I think men need to come from. And exactly as you said, they need to be men. They need to stop being weak. And even though you're making six figures or you're making a lot of money, you need to be able to dictate. With regards to your family, so much of it is culture. Like, first of all, a lot of these guys also want extravagant weddings, which is extremely feminine, right? Very feminine quality, right? It's a woman's, I don't know if it's fitrah, but it's a woman's thing that she's grown up with the idea, this magical wedding day. That's understandable. Conditioned. I understand that, right? But for a man to want, a big fancy wedding and I want to walk into the hall with like this and the videographer to be there and film us like this and one on the very side note, one of the things that I've seen, I don't know if you've seen, is them walking with a Quran, holding a Quran above the couple's head as they walk into the. What is that about? But I mean, yeah. So it comes down to being a man, and if you're making six figures and you're financially successful, fine. But you need to be man enough to be able to dictate the terms of your wedding.
100%.
Like, what control do you have? So first of all, don't be feminine and want a big extravagant wedding. I was good. I could use a term that Zarir uses. Just calls everything that he doesn't like. But yeah, I mean, it's just really, I find it really emasculating to want a big expensive wedding, right? So first of all, if you are smart enough as a man to change your expectations and say, okay, I'm happy having a small wedding, then brilliant. Allahumma barik. I mean, there's studies on this, right?
Yeah.
The more conservative your wedding, the less spent financially on the wedding, the longer success rate of the marriage, right?
Yeah.
That's huge. There's studies on this. A lot of our clients are doctors and dentists, which, anything that you discuss in the medical sphere, if you don't come with studies, they'll be like, oh, they'll negate your opinion, right? Which is fair. I understand that, right? So, I mean, you're going to talk about studies. There's literally studies that say the more you spend on the wedding, the higher risk of you getting divorced, right? So I think it comes down to like, listen, first of all, decide that you're going to have a conservative wedding, and then be man enough to dictate to your family that this is my wedding, I'm getting married, not you, right? People love to say, I'm sure you've heard this before, that, the families are getting married. It's not the families, it's me. It's me and the girl. We're getting married, all right? So, I don't care. Yes, I'm going to respect the family. I'm going to respect the family as much as, my family I'm talking about, right? Their expectations, etc., as much as is reasonable. But if anything unreasonable comes forward, then I'm going to be a man. I would say, no, thank you. It's my wedding. If you want me to attend, right, then
100%.
It needs to be done according to the way that I want, right? So, subhanAllah, there's many, many stories of the ulama who did it very, very conservative, right? There's one story of one very well-known ulama who, his walima, he got the women of the locality and his aunties, etc., to come to his home. They cooked like a lot of food at home. They made little packs and they delivered it to all of the localities. That was the walima. Yeah. And then there was a lady who came and she said, I'm expecting an invitation to the walima, the big event. And they were saying, no, we're not doing that. We're doing a nice conservative. We're just making packs at home and then giving it. Here's your pack if you want to accept it. She was like, no, I don't want it. I want to receive an invitation and I want to attend an event. And they were like, okay, that's no problem. We'll give it to someone else. And then later on she came back and she regretted it and she wished, I'd taken on the barakah of that. But you see the result from the ulama. They have, subhanAllah, they have very successful marriages.
Prophet have such basic weddings.
Subhanallah.
Most basic.
Let's talk about it from both perspectives again, the man's perspective and the woman's perspective. First of all, the man's perspective. What is reasonable for a man to expect and accept the mahr from his wife? Obviously, the mahr is dictated by the woman. She can ask for whatever she wants. But how should a man approach that?
It's a two-way thing. It's not that she can ask for whatever she wants. It's also the man can offer, for example, I'm willing to marry you for this much. Okay. And she's the one who accepts or rejects. Yes. Okay. He also can accept or reject the mahr. So for example, if the woman says, no, I want 50,000. The man can say, yeah, I'm not going to do that. She says, okay. And that's it. There's no wedding. Okay, so it's on both sides, right? They can both. A lot of guys think, oh my God, I gotta marry her. She asked for $50,000. Okay, let me go to the bank and take a loan and whatnot. People take loans for mahars these days. Okay, sometimes riba loans.
We've got clients who have taken loans to get the mahar.
So that's sad.
Crazy.
It's relative to who the guy is. What's his status in the community, his socioeconomical status. If he's going to want to give a mahar of, I don't know, he's mashallah earning 6 figures and he's thinking to give $200 or something like that. Right? That shows a little bit of cheapness and issue of character. He should not do it. And if the woman, again, she might not even expect a high mahar. It depends. It all depends. It's relative to that couple. But if the man's making, let's say, 5 figures, alhamdulillah, he himself, I would say, should take it upon himself to give a decent mahar. Okay, let's say you're making yearly let's go monthly. Let's say you're making monthly
$10,000.
$10,000. Okay, you're clearing 10,000. That's what you
Take
get.
home, yeah.
Yeah, take home. That's 1 month. Okay, which means you'll be making per year 120, right? So you can give her 5 to 10,000 easily. You want 1 month's worth of your salary, right? $10,000 as a mahar is okay. Recently, I had a client who was a doctor. Mashallah, he's given his wife, I think, about £7,000 cash, and around maybe another £6,000 worth of a gold. It's about 12, 13,000 pounds. It's about good $14,000, almost 15. And the woman was extremely happy, bro, because I talked to her as well. And she was like, yeah, I'm like, because her dad was like, kind of like, oh, I don't know. And she was like, no, this is so good. She was very happy with it, right?
The dad wanted more?
The dad wanted more.
Really? Can you explain this to me? I don't understand the mindset of the parents wanting like huge mahars for their children.
The dads, sometimes they think like, this is my daughter, her values related to that. No, bro, because then there's no money that could buy your daughter, is it? Like, no price should be on that if you think in that way.
Is it also the case that the family is taking the money?
In many cases, the family should take the money, yes.
But that's not Islamic permissible.
It's a big dhulm, bro.
Yeah.
It's a big dhulm. Okay, it's a big dhulm.
It's not permissible.
You're not selling your daughter and you're not taking her money. But yeah, like $10,000. But if you're making $120,000, clearing $120,000, a month's salary is good. But if you're making 40,000, a month's salary, bro, 3,000 pounds or dollars, a lot. You know what I mean? It can really hurt, right? To skip a month's salary. Because, well, 1,500 is rent, or 1,200. Food is another $800 to $1,000. It's tough, man. All right. So again, it's relative. In a position of a man who clears 120, 10,000, 15,000, you should feel like, I'm the man. I'm going to give you that much. Right? I have that money. I have that quwwah, that strength. Right? But if the woman comes in and says, no, I want 100,000. She's now pushing the limits. Then the man, I think that's a lot. A year's worth of your hard work, that's a lot. Okay. And keep in mind that you are investing lifelong. You're going to be paying every month quite a lot for her. She needs to understand that as well.
Yeah. Obviously, the provision is monthly. It's the roof over her head. There's the clothes on her back. There's the food on the table.
And more, right?
Yeah,
like a man is going to give his wife, man,
a
lot.
Of course.
Right? But that it's about the expectation and the behavior when it comes to mahar. It's not necessarily about the money. It's about what that woman feels like. No, you're not going to give me, it's the attitude, bro. That you can start stiffing from the beginning as a vetting process. If a woman's too comfortable to just throw it out there, I think it's a red flag. If a woman's a little bit shy, she wants, what do you think, I think that's when the man has to step up. Again, we're talking about 6 figures earners. I think the man has to be like, no, I'll give you. She'll be like, brother, alhamdulillah, we're okay, whatever, whatever you think, $2,000. The guy will be like, I'll give you 10. I'll give you 10. She'll be, oh my God, wow. Right? She'll be happy. Right? She's shy, she's like, yeah, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. She wants to just give a nominal number, right? Just a fee there. And he says, I'll give. But if she's like, well, let me see. Give me 20. That kind of attitude, bro.
Yeah.
The guy should be like, wait a second. Where's the hayat? Because when it comes to business and money, sometimes you have to have a little bit of, hayat, especially in marriage.
Yeah.
It's not like me and you talking about like investing in Bitcoin, no? What we're going to do and how much we're going to put and what we're going to take in profit. It's marriage still in the end of the day. Even though it's a business transaction, it's still, the woman comes with a bit of hayat, and the man comes with some, some masculinity and some strength. So it's relative. Okay. It's relative.
So this is a negotiation, right? Who should present the offer first? Like, who should present, so the man offer, I'll give you a certain amount of mahar first?
He can come, yeah. I believe it's more honorable for the man to come with the offer. Okay. I believe it's more honorable for the man to come and say, look, I want to marry you. okay, I'm willing to give you a mahar of $5,000, $10,000. Okay. And that's it. And the woman will accept or, say, look, I don't even need that much.
Okay, so now the woman's perspective, right? Like, how should she approach the mahar? Now, first of all, let's assume that she is taking the mahar like she should be, and her family is not taking it, right? What is sensible, like, from in terms of let's say the idea obviously is that okay, she wants to get married, she wants to approach it sensibly, with a nice healthy in a healthy way. What should she take into consideration with regards to the mahar?
I think first of all, she should allow the wali to take this message to the man. I think there's more haya in that.
Yes.
So her father, her brother can discuss this issue, numbers. When two men sit together, it's different. I feel like the man could build resentment towards his wife or misunderstand things if she's going to be very
upfront with discussing finances.
Okay? It's just not from haya. She can if she wants. I mean, it's not, I'm not saying it's haram. But I think it's just more appropriate for a man to jump in there and say things and to bring her understanding and easily discuss it, accept, reject, negotiate even, and so on. And it's fine. It is, at the end of the day, a transaction.
Yeah. So the man should approach the discussion of mahar with the wali.
With the wali.
Not even with the girl.
No. And don't leave it to like the end, bro. I believe mahar should be one of the early things to be discussed. People agree on everything. They start getting connected. They're talking about everything. And the last, because it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So let's discuss mahar. I've seen recently they're filming a nikah. And it reaches to the talab, yani the request. And then the imam says, so what's the mahar?
They hadn't even discussed that before. Oh, God.
But the sister says, give me, so I think she says something like a Quran or something. And it became embarrassing because the imam says, no, you can ask money if you want. So how much do you want to ask? And then it's like they want to show off to people. I think she's a revert, so they want to impress everyone in her family. It's a mistake of the guy because he should have discussed this and he should have not let it till the end. So the imam says, oh, you can ask whatever you want. What do you want? You want $500? She's like, okay. He's like, but you can ask more if you want to. Then he goes, I think he went up to 10,000, bro. And you can see the brother's face was very uncomfortable. He changed.
Did he pick the imam?
I think so. and it looked embarrassing for him.
I can imagine.
And in the end, I don't even know if he has $10,000, bro. And he had to sign the paper and he had to agree on, because he's on camera now. Like, he can't be like, oh, no. He's just like, and the guy keep going up. He's like, till like finally, I think they reached around 10,000. So I don't know if the guy was a 5-figure earner or not. Maybe not. Maybe it was just an average guy who was delivering Uber food. Like a lot of the brothers do in the UK, for example, they're working basic jobs, man. They're struggling with £2,000 a month. Or $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month. It's embarrassing. So the man, though, it's his fault, man. He should have discussed these things. Okay, he is the one. The man is always moving towards the woman. He's the one proposing. He's the one spending. He's the one doing things. He's the one. It's always the man. The woman her value is stable. It's static. She just has to be. You know what I mean? She's a woman. Obviously, once the marriage happens, she needs to pull her weight and now start doing things as well. No doubt. But it's the man that moves towards the woman. He's the one proposing. He's the one in general. Okay? In general. It can also happen the other way around, but it's few cases.
I don't know from your clients if you're able to answer this, but have you seen that women from different levels of income expect certain amounts? Like, would you say that a woman making 6 figures expects more or less, or maybe she's more financially and psychologically secure enough to ask for a lower mahar compared to a woman who doesn't have an income, intending to be a housewife, and she might ask for a lot more?
There's, as I said, a lot of sisters, mashallah, who have done some reflections and they've changed themselves, right? Maybe they come from a decent family. They also might have some money and they're not so bothered about it. They're like, bro, it's not a big deal. I just want to be with you because they see value in the man, in his mission and vision and who he is. And she feels happy to be part of his life. Do you understand? It goes beyond just the foundations, which is an exchange, a business transaction. For her now, that's above that.
Of course, yeah.
It's like now, like, whoa, this guy I want to be with him. Right? So she might not even care about that much money. But as you said, sometimes the family, the influence, sometimes the friends, oh, how much mahar is he giving you? I don't want too much. Oh, you're stupid. Why don't you don't deserve more? She's like, oh, she starts having waswasa. For example, in Michigan, USA, there's a huge population of Muslims.
Yeah.
And there is a trend there where you're talking about the average mahar in the Arab community, especially, you're talking about 50,000 plus, bro.
That's crazy.
They won't even discuss with you, brother. 50,000, maybe a car. Like, I don't know if you've seen that video.
I've seen the video.
That's
a G-Wagon,
that's not a joke. That's not a joke. In the Muslim communities in Michigan and some other places, big Muslim communities, among certain Arab communities, that's not a joke. That's the reality. And guess what, guys? They want to get married, bro. Guys really want to get married, so they'll do whatever it takes sometimes to marry women. And if they don't have those, they're going to have to just not get married and wait till the right woman comes. But then these women watch these videos. She looks at what the woman's going to say. She's going to look in the mirror and be like, but I'm prettier than her. If she's asking $50K and a G-Wagon, what the heck am I stupid to ask for $1,000? So now they're training them on the wrong paradigm. And that's why, brother, one of the reasons why marriages are so delayed and they're not getting married and there's so much fear is because there's all these false expectations.
This fitna of comparison.
Unrealistic expectations. And then I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, a 41-year-old woman. Bro, she literally wrote an essay. It was huge, bro. It was like, it took me 20 minutes to read it. And in the end of the day, it's just delay. This is not good. He was good looking, but he wasn't good in this. He was good in this, but not good looking. But this and that. In the end of the day, so much comparison, so many variables. The menu is so long that by the time you flip through all the options in the menu, I'm not hungry anymore. And that's exactly what he said. Feels like I'm not interested in marriage anymore at 41. I know, man, people, they don't like it, but it is what it is. You can't deny it.
SubhanAllah. Akhi, this was a phenomenal discussion. I only got through maybe 5 or 10% of my questions.
Yeah.
And we've only come to like the mahar discussion. I think there's a lot more to discuss on this topic. I would love, if you're up for it, inshallah, a series, maybe once a month or so. I would love for you to come to my house, inshallah. We'll have some food and we can film a good long podcast, inshallah, maybe in a month or so. Jazakallah khairan. Ustad, Jazakallah khairan. That's phenomenal.